Hey guys, I may have found the worst time travel movie to ever exist. It's called Timecut and Netflix released it around Halloween last year and it's not good. I love movies from the 2000s. Jennifer's Body, White Chicks, 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, Mean Girls, the list goes on. These absolutely iconic movies have caused me to have a seriously high expectation whenever it comes to watching any movie. But recently, modern comedies, horror, or romance movies have not been hitting the spot for me, and I will watch like anything. Even The Kissing Booth.
Look at me. Noah, look at me.
Now, of course, I don't mean every single modern comedy or romance or horror movie, you know. There's the A24s of the world that, dude, put an A24 movie in front of me and I'll be crying by the end of it. I swear.
I swear.
But a majority of recent movies have been sinister and bad. And even the shitty movies from the 2000s were good. Like, Not Another Teen Movie or Picture This were terrible. But dude, I could watch those again. I'll watch them a million times over. And now more than ever, the 2000s have become the world's biggest fixation. Juicy is back. Low-rise jeans are back. Bump Its are not back, but they are on the horizon and I am putting my money on it now. And with that, everything is now 2000s themed, I guess. And no rendition is ever good. Take fashion, for example. This is not Y2K. This is not Y2K. And this one just pisses me off. And Timecut is a great example of the world's fixation on Y2K. And since this movie came out about 3 months ago, I've had plenty of time to rewatch it 3 or 4 times, yes. And is it because the movie is good? No. Like, I'm genuinely, utterly obsessed with this movie and I don't know why. Is it because Griffin Gluck is in it? Or is it because the soundtrack is amazing and spectacular and amazing and I want it and I listen to it all the time and I made a playlist about it because I love it so much? I think I hear Avril Lavigne Complicated at least every single day at my job. But the minute it played in the movie, dude, I shed a tear. There was even a Hilary Duff song in it, and the minute I heard it, I had goosebumps. As much as I would love to spend the rest of the video talking about how hot Griffin Gluck is and Antonia Gentry are, the real reason I wanted to talk about this movie is because it made no sense. So we start off the movie with What's Love playing. What's Love? So you already know that this party is so fucking enviable. Dude, I wish I could go back in time and be a teenager in the 2000s and party like the universe intended me to. I don't want to go to the club and hear no bing, bing, bing. I want to go to the club and I want to hear What's Love? Right? Then we meet the characters Quinn and Summer, and Quinn is basically giving his condolences to Summer because her friend Emmy just died, and he starts handing a letter to Summer about, I don't know, that he loves her, he wants to bone, like, I'm not really sure. Right before he could hand it to her, some Chad football nerd comes up and he's like, come on, this is our song. Let's go inside, please. Come with me, please, please, please. And this guy is Summer's ex-boyfriend, Ethan. And once they're in the party, they're, you know, talking, having fun, making toasts. And this loser has the audacity to spill a drink all over her. Dude, you are like begging her to like hang out with you and chill with you. But the minute you get a second of her time, you spill a drink all over her and you don't even chase her out to help her, like, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. No.
Hey, Summer.
No. Dumped. And he already got dumped, so double dump. So she runs to the restroom to go like wash the drink off of her shirt, right? And while she's in the restroom, police come and bust the party. So everybody starts going home and she's like really the only person there. Then guess who joins the party? And then he starts chasing her ass out to the barn, garage. I don't know what this place is. I don't know if I'm the only person who thought this, but this scene is eerily similar to what it feels like to play Dead by Daylight. Like throwing down the pallets and jumping over shit. So she gets to this fence and she's screaming for help and nobody can hear her because everybody's talking. She's like kind of far away, I guess. I don't know if I'm gassing myself, but if I was in that situation, I would be jumping the fence. I don't care how tall it is. I am climbing. I am like willing to be impaled by the wood. Any fate is better than standing face to face with this Johnny Bravo ass mask. Anyways, she gets absolutely laid out, and then we get teleported to 2024, where we meet the main character, Lucy. She's emo, she's sad, she's listening to Olivia Rodrigo, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. And the reason she's depressed is because ever since the slashings of 2003, everybody, the whole damn town, has been extremely sad, depressed. And you can tell by the color grading, you guys. Come on, let's keep up. But one of the people who got killed was Summer. You guys remember her from 5 seconds ago? That's her sister, her dead sister. So it's like, what, the 21-year anniversary since her sister died. And she's going to her sister's memorial and, you know, paying her respects and stuff. And she hears this machine like, so she's like, let me go check that out. And she stumbles upon a time machine. But after she starts clicking on some buttons, I don't know why, she gets transported to 2003. Her phone doesn't work anymore because she's now in 2003 and iPhones don't exist. So she can't call anybody. She can't, you know, see her parents anymore. So she, I don't know, makes her way to school. Because yes, that's the first place I'm going to go whenever I accidentally time travel, school. And once she walks in, it is a hallway of nostalgia. I feel like the characters look extremely accurate to how people looked in the 2000s because the 2000s was not,
ooh, my little crop top and mini skirt and high heel leopard sandals.
No, the 2000s was frumpalicious Uggs and long ass shirts that don't really fit and baggy butt jeans. But they were like boot cut. Like not everybody was given like body like Elena Gilbert, like you know this. But in the hallway is where her sister Summer passes her by. Literally slow-mo magic, la la. You're in like a Pantene commercial ad, Selena Gomez. And she's obviously really shocked and like taken aback because it's like, this is her dead sister. And she's like, damn, this bitch got aura. So because she's actually going to the school in 2024, she goes to her science classroom that she usually goes to, but in 2003, and her teacher is still there, I guess. And she's like, hey, what do you know about time travel? And surprise, surprise, guess who was there? Zoe Mama. But whenever he shows up, he butts in and he's like,
Perfect timing. Quinn here's a physics genius.
Traveling into the past is a horrible idea because you could create a paradox or multiple paradoxes. You know, you could create a ripple effect that could be devastating.
And this is totally true because we've seen it in literally every single time travel show, TV show, you name it. We know this rule. And she's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, just go back home to where I came from. And she leaves the classroom and she sees these bullies are taking him out to the lake to belly flop him in there. And the whole school is watching. So right before they dunk him in, Lucy comes up and she's like, guys,
Put him down!
Just a joke.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's kind of funny now.
But once everybody leaves, she confesses to him, hey, I'm from the future, and if you really are good with physics, I need your help. So she shows him the time machine, and she realizes what day it is, and she's like, okay, well, if this is the day that everybody's about to get killed, like, we gotta get with it now.
April 16th? Oh, shit. You're not doing anything right now, are you?
No.
Great.
Bro, what is this dialogue? So they take the time machine and they take it back to Quinn's garage lair, secret magical lair. So they just need to figure out how to get this thing to work. And once they kind of disassemble it, they see, okay, so we need this future juice stuff from the Sonar nuclear facility. But luckily, Lucy's dad actually works there. But before they could work on it, they had to fit in a Butterfinger ad placement.
Excuse me?
These are my favorite.
Okay, you're lucky I have another one.
And to be honest, it actually makes me kind of upset because why was it actually working on me? I don't even like Butterfingers, but that was all I could think about for the rest of the movie. Anyway, small cutaway from them being in the garage. We see Emmy and Summer, and she is like,
I really need to talk to you.
Summer, stop. You made your choice.
and we don't know what the decision is that they're talking about, but they both seem pretty upset about it. Back to the Butterfinger party. Quinn makes sure to reinstate that changing anything about the past could be really detrimental.
You should not change the past.
So she's like, okay, well, let's not waste any time. I need to go to my house and get the Sonar badge from my dad and get the hell out of here. But the only way to get into her own house, because obviously her parents don't know who she is yet, is to befriend Summer and go into her house as a friend.
Yeah, just come on in. Sure.
Okay.
No, okay. My house is kind of a mess, but just ignore it.
Something that is kind of heartbreaking though is the fact that whenever she goes in, her house is extremely lively and lived in. You know, it's kind of messy, showing that like people actually live there and are enjoying their time. Too much to clean up after herself. That's why my room always looks messy as shit in my background. I actually just cleaned this part of my camera frame, so you guys can't see how messy the rest of my room is. You wouldn't know. You would never know. Anyways, we get a heart-to-heart moment.
Your parents are just nothing like my parents.
We get a makeover scene that we did not ask for. All the boring shit. Just kidding. But why are makeover scenes so lazy sometimes? It actually pisses me off. It makes me want to rip out my eyes whenever I see people pretending to be disgusted by a really normal outfit, and then whenever they try on like the ugliest shit, they're like, that's the one. And they always act so like superficially sentimental about this ugly ass Shein ass outfit. Hello? She has this conversation with Summer.
This might be a weird question, but if you knew something bad was gonna happen, would you try to stop it?
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't?
What if it made something bad happen later?
I would still try and fix the first thing.
So she's like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna change the past. I don't give a shit. I want to save these people now. So she books it to the mall, and this is my literal favorite scene from the entire movie. I don't know why, but it cracks me up every single time. I got this for you. What the fuck? I don't know why. It literally is so funny. Like nothing even happens, but the face that she makes is like priceless. Anyways, the two first victims are Val and Brian. And while they're shopping in a store called Wet Slide, and dude, look at these Shein ass clothes. I was literally saying this. And while they're shopping, the slasher comes out of hiding and he does what he set out to do and more. And unfortunately, because Lucy was getting involved with the situation, she accidentally caused a security guard to get slashed in the process. So after the slashing, Summer gets kind of suspicious of Lucy. Like, you just came here out of nowhere and you knew you needed to go to the mall, and then suddenly Val and Brian were slashed. So you need to explain yourself. And she is like, okay, you're not gonna believe me, but I'm your sister and I'm from the future.
You owe me the truth.
I know that, and I want to tell you, but you're never going to believe me.
Yes, I will. Please.
And in order to prove it to her, she found a letter in her room at the beginning of the movie, and she gives it to her, and she's like, you're going to receive this today. And Summer's like, okay, yeah, I've never seen this in my life, but whatever, sure. She later receives the exact same letter in her locker, and she's like, what? She wasn't lying? So immediately once Summer finds this out, she rushes to go find Lucy and to tell her, I believe you.
You have to tell me everything. Do I make it on Broadway? Do I ever get married?
You have a great life. You have a great job, great friends, an annoyingly handsome husband.
Who is the next person that they're slashing, because she kind of insinuated that there were more. And Lucy confesses that it is her friend, Emmy.
Emmy?
She dies tonight at the Marine Museum.
And once Summer finds this out, she's like, that's my girl. She is not going down. I am going to fight for her to live. And so Summer and Lucy are kind of going back and forth being like, no, we kind of can't fix stuff from the past because it's going to mess up the future. And then Summer's like, well, that's my homegirl. I'm not going to let her die. And Quinn is looking at Summer all lustfully, and he's like,
Yeah, I can like drive or something.
that's because that's what Summer wants. And dude, it was obvious from the start that you liked her, but like, can you tone down a little bit? As soon as Summer wants something, he's all of a sudden like, oh, what? I don't know what a paradox is. No, let's go save Emmy. So obviously majority rules, and Lucy now has a soft spot for Summer because they're sisters, and they decide to go save Emmy. The slasher, Johnny Bravo, tries to get Emmy, but Summer swoops right in and saves the day, saves Emmy from being moited. They all manage to escape and make it back to Emmy's house. And look at this moment, y'all. It's because Emmy and Summer are in love with each other. I am so glad that she is for the girls, because honestly, if Summer and Quinn ended up together, I would literally rip my hair out. No shade to Quinn though, but I'll take you though. So while Lucy and Quinn are in the car alone, Lucy tells him, I'm gonna be honest with you, the last person who gets slashed is Summer, and I think we need to save her. And he is like, oh my god, of course. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I would have been driving across state lines to save her. Copium. So he prompts her to go tell Summer about the fact that she is the next victim. And she's like, yes, I will do it. Don't even worry about it. Like, I will get to it. So Lucy and Summer end up in Olive Garden. Surprise, surprise, another brand placement. And at this dinner, Summer comes out to Lucy and is like,
yeah, we promised to come out to our parents, and then I was afraid.
And I'm gonna be honest, it kind of freaked me out that you told me that I was gonna end up with a husband.
Well, then why did you say that I would end up with a husband? I mean, that's seriously a fate worse than death.
Like, why did you say that if, you know, the future seems extremely progressive with gay rights? And Lucy does not have the heart to tell her that she is the next victim. So the next morning, she goes to her and Summer's parents and she's like, hey, by any chance, would you guys ever have another kid? And they're like, no.
Did you guys ever think about having another kid?
No. Can you imagine?
They're like, oh, have another kid. That sounds like fucking torture. No, we just want one. We'd rather have probably 0 kids and have another one like you, perchance. Which is a huge stab in the back for Lucy because she already felt like her relationship with her parents was strained at the beginning of the movie because of the loss of her sister. They had been kind of emotionally detached. And she kind of realizes, like, even if I save Summer, my parents are not going to give birth to me later.
Can you imagine?
So we're kind of seeing 2 options here. So it's either she saves Summer and she herself would die, right? Because she would never be born. Or she lets Summer die and she goes back to her dreary ass life, knowing her sister, but not getting to live with her. So before Summer wakes up, she snacks a Sonar badge and she runs to go get Quinn to be like, hey, I got the badge. Let's go to Sonar and get the future juice so I can go the hell home. And once she walks in, she sees the red letter from the beginning of the movie on Quinn's desk. And she's like, what is this? Let me open it. It says some ooey gooey, I love you so much and I want you to have my baby. Obviously, Lucy feels betrayed by this because it makes his intention biased towards Summer, because if he had to pick between saving Summer and saving Lucy, he would obviously pick Summer because he's in love with her. He had no hesitation to make an effort to save her. Like, bro, she doesn't even want you though. And then Quinn walked in all aloof and is like, did you tell her that we're gonna save her? Did you tell her that she was gonna be the next victim if we don't save her? And she was like, hello? Like, can't you see that I'm conflicted about this? Like, you were just expecting me to sacrifice my life to her whenever I want to live too.
If she lives, then I'll never be born.
So, you're just gonna let her get killed?
Did you hear me? If she lives, then I'm gone.
Lucy, I can't just let her die.
And he's all like, girl, I don't give a shit. That's my girl. And then he storms out. Bye. So she's like, you know what? I love my sister. We've had a great couple days together and I just need to tell her. Because she kind of realizes like how much it would suck if she lived the rest of her life without having Summer be there. So she goes to tell her, and Summer is extremely nonchalant, dreadhead about this. She's like,
It's okay to want to live, Lucy.
yeah, but you would like die. Hello? Do you not care? And they're like, fuck it. Let's go save Summer. And while we're at it, let's catch the slasher. So they go to the party that was at the very beginning of the movie. What's love? Got to do it. Because that's obviously where they know the killer is going to be. So at the party, Summer comes out to everybody by kissing Emmy. Let's go, lesbians! Meanwhile, Lucy and Quinn go to Sonar to get the future juice.
I'm sorry. I was being selfish.
I understand. I don't want to lose either of you. Let's go steal some antimatter.
And they make their way back to the party to save Summer and catch the slasher. And guys, are you ready? Slash reveal in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I expected it to be him, but why is it him from the future? I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense if it was him from the present because he's there. So let's fast forward a minute. They like sped off in their car. They go back to Quinn's garage. I guess the job is done now, even though he clearly wasn't dead. Quinn goes up to Lucy and he's like, I solemnly swear.
I'm never gonna become that monster. Okay, I promise you have to believe me.
I do.
He's like, remember how you literally watched me slash 3 people and attempt to get 2 more? Dude, I'd never do anything like that. Swear. You were though. That was literally you, dude. I digress. So they give the future juice to the time machine and it's drinking it, it's charging up, and future Quinn bursts in and he's like, I'm going to slash all of you.
What's going on?
Which doesn't really make a lot of sense because if he slashed his past self, wouldn't that make him cease to exist?
If I die, you die, right? You'll learn that's not how time travel works.
Anyways, he literally claims that he did this all because Summer rejected him at the beginning, in which she really didn't. She just didn't read his stupid ass letter. And because in the actual past, before Lucy saved him, he was supposed to get dumped into the lake. Huh? But once the time machine was charged, Lucy grabs onto future Quinn and they go time travel together to freaking Elon world. And she dominates his ass with a Tesla charger. Yes, girl. And get this, after she gets him, she goes back to 2024 and then back to 2003 and tells Quinn and Summer,
Yeah, I got back to 2024 and started thinking that maybe where I'm meant to be is here with you.
My parents had no idea who I was.
Tell me everything.
so that was kind of funny, but I decided I'm gonna stay here with you guys because I like it here. That's literally how the movie ends. Like, she just stays in 2003 with no parents, and she doesn't disappear from not being born either. She just gets to live out her life in 2003. Huh? No. There is no explanation logical enough to make this make sense to me. And I have 100 questions. Question number 1, why did he wait till 2024 to do any of this? If the stuff that triggered him this bad to become a slasher happened in 2003, why would you wait 21 years? Like, because that's where the time machine was, right? Like 2024. Huh? Number 2, how did the machine have enough future juice to take her to Elon world, take her to 2024, and back to 2003? And number 3, I mentioned this before, but like, why doesn't the slasher cease to exist if Lucy goes back in time to change what happened to him? You know what I mean? Like, if the triggering events did not happen, then how would he have become that 2024 version of him in the first place? Number 4, obviously, how does Lucy survive if her parents never gave birth to her? Where did she come from?
My parents had no idea who I was.
I'm not even gonna number them anymore. How is she going to live in 2003 and just continue to make paradoxes and change the future? Like, this actually makes no sense. And lastly, why did it only take 2 things to happen for Quinn to become a slasher? Like, a girl rejecting you and being dumped into a lake was enough? Hello? Like, if that is all it took for him to become a serial slasher, imagine whenever he gets a driver's license and gets rear-ended for the first time. Or what happens whenever a Chick-fil-A worker forgets his Dr. Pepper. Is he gonna go psycho mode? And oh my god, is this another Olive Garden brand placement? Oh wait, shut up, this song is good. I don't care anymore. This movie is lit. The soundtrack is good. I don't care. And that is all it takes to make your movie good. Have a good soundtrack and I will literally forget about all of the plot holes, all of the really bad writing, all of the really obvious brand placements, and all of the stupid explanations for why things the way that they are if your music soundtrack is good. Put Hilary Duff in it. I'm happy. I am good. I am ready. And especially if you put Griffin Gluck in the same movie, I will be extra happy. I will be extra charitable. Another thing that's kind of unrelated to this movie, but kind of is that there's another movie, Totally Killer, which is allegedly a movie with the same plot, but much better. I saw several people making this comparison whenever I was looking through Instagrams, TikToks, YouTube videos about the Timecut movie. So I definitely need to watch it on my own time and see what it's about and see if it's better. You can follow me on Letterboxd. I'll leave my Letterboxd right here. And this is how I even heard that other people were feeling the same way as I was. Feel free to follow me and we can be friends. I do know though that Timecut went into production first, but it ended up being the worst. But you know what they say, first is the worst, second is the best, third is the one with the hairy chest. I'm not sure who number 3 is yet, but I will let you guys know whenever I find out. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Feel free to subscribe. It is 100% free. Feel free to like the video, feel free to comment what you guys think about the video or the movie. I'm curious, like, is anybody else feeling as outraged about this movie as me? Okay, that's all. Bye, little monsters.
No, no, no.